Welcome back to the channel, where we follow remarkable moments of wildlife captured through the lens of the camera. African biodiversity is among the most impressive on the planet, filled with species that astonish both for their beauty and for their behavior. Among the most iconic inhabitants of Africa's freshwater systems is the hippopotamus. With a calm appearance and slow movements when out of the water, it is often underestimated. However, few people know that this semi-aquatic herbivore is considered one of the most dangerous animals on the continent. It is estimated that every year, several hundred incidents occur involving hippopotamuses and humans in riverside regions. Not due to gratuitous aggression, but as a form of territorial defense. Hippopotamuses spend most of the day submerged, shielding themselves from the scorching heat, and come out at night to graze, often traveling several kilometers on land. When they feel threatened or their space is invaded, the reaction is usually swift and forceful. Even Nile crocodiles, considered the largest reptiles in Africa and capable of reaching up to 6 meters in length, rarely challenge an adult hippopotamus. In many documented cases, crocodiles prefer to retreat when hippopotamuses approach. Not only due to the brute strength of these mammals, but also because of their unpredictable behavior. In one of the most striking scenes captured by tourists on safari, a remarkably large Nile crocodile approaches a female hippopotamus. It is possible that, after assessing his own considerable size, the reptile believed he had a chance to command some respect, or at least secure his place in that shared territory. However, as soon as the first physical contact occurs, reality sets in with clarity. Animal behavior specialists have observed that reptiles, although they do not express emotions in the same way mammals do, respond to stress through avoidance, immobility, or escape reactions. In this case, the crocodile's sudden change in behavior can be interpreted as a self-preservation instinct triggered by an unexpectedly powerful threat. Interestingly, crocodiles and hippopotamuses share the same habitats across much of the African continent, especially in rivers such as the Nile, the Limpopo, and the Zambezi. This makes encounters and, occasionally, conflicts inevitable. In a moving sequence, we witness an unexpected act of courage in the animal kingdom. A mother impala realizes that her fawn is about to be attacked by a crocodile. In an instinctive impulse, she leaps into the water and swims to intercept the predator. Her action seems to be a desperate attempt to divert attention and save her offspring, even if it means putting her own life at risk. Please leave a like if you are enjoying the content. Next, we see a classic example of the harsh competition between crocodiles. A wildebeest caught in a sudden attack manages to break free from the jaws of a smaller crocodile. For a brief moment, escape seems possible, but the stillness is quickly shattered by the arrival of another predator, a much larger crocodile, drawn by the sound and splashing. With a powerful lunge, it snatches the prey directly from its rival's mouth. The Nile crocodile is one of the few reptiles known to exhibit interspecific competition over prey. Despite often being seen in groups, their hunting behavior is not cooperative. Each individual acts independently, and food-related conflicts are common. During times of scarcity, such as prolonged droughts, these disputes may escalate into cannibalism, particularly among adult males. In a dry riverside landscape, we observe a crocodile engaged in an unusual behavior. It remains still beside a small sandy mound, its nest. The eggs, carefully buried in a cradle of moist sand, are in the process of incubation. Suddenly, a hippopotamus approaches the area. The crocodile, sensing a potential threat, adopts an extremely defensive posture. Without hesitation, it lunges and even bites the intruder, forcing the surprised hippo to retreat. Contrary to popular belief, crocodiles do not abandon their eggs. The female guards the nest for up to 90 days, and once the hatchlings are ready to emerge, she helps them out of the sand and gently carries them in her mouth to the water. Interestingly, the temperature of the nest during incubation determines the sex of the offspring. Lower temperatures tend to produce females, while higher temperatures result in males. Even small variations can drastically alter the population's gender balance. In one of the most intense scenes of this documentary, a crocodile finds itself surrounded by a group of hippos. At first, the large herbivores seem indifferent. But gradually, their discomfort turns into coordinated action. One by one, the hippos approach, pushing and biting the crocodile with increasing aggression. Collective strength prevails. Clearly weakened, the reptile manages to escape to the riverbank, but leaves behind a trail of effort, exhaustion, and likely injury. Despite being herbivores, hippos exhibit some of the most extreme territorial behavior among African mammals. Dominant males control specific areas of rivers or lakes and aggressively expel any animal they perceive as a threat, including crocodiles, rhinoceroses, and buffaloes. In another similar scene, the tension escalates even further. A crocodile, seemingly unaware, is caught in the middle of a hippo herd. One of the males asserts dominance by lifting the crocodile in its jaws, an act of force that goes well beyond what's necessary. The reptile reacts instinctively, biting another nearby hippo in a desperate attempt to create an opening for escape. Amid the turmoil, it dives and vanishes into the murky water. Its fate remains unknown. An interesting fact: the gape of a hippopotamus can reach approximately 150 degrees, and its tusks, which are actually elongated canine teeth, grow continuously throughout its life. And now, a rare and unexpected scene from the savannah. A group of wildebeests watches anxiously as one of their own is attacked by a crocodile. The animal struggles, but the odds are against it. That's when a hippopotamus appears, not as a predator, but as an irritated intruder disturbed by the commotion. It charges in, scaring off the crocodile with a sudden lunge. The wildebeest, wounded but still alive, escapes to the riverbank. Behavioral curiosity. This kind of interaction, in which one species indirectly disrupts the predation of another, is known as interspecies interference. In the case of hippos, the behavior is still being studied. In some instances, it seems they are merely defending their space. In others, there are records of hippos rescuing impalas, zebras, and even young buffalo calves. It is still unclear whether this is driven by empathy or simply intolerance to the chaos that hunting brings into their surroundings.